I joined the Navy in 2000, right out of high school, and then the war started. We did 10 months at war. I was flying plane guard when we did shock and awe. I have an air medal for over 150 hours of combat flight time. So I did 5 years in the Navy, 18 months at war. I was on the USS Abraham Lincoln, the USS John C. Stennis, and the USS Ronald Reagan. And then I was on my way home. I had 3 weeks left in the Navy. I'd done my time in the war. I'd done my time. And I was stationed in San Diego, and I live in Washington State. And I was driving home on I-5, and I was in the backseat sleeping of a Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo. And it was rolled 4 times on the freeway. My seatbelt broke, and I went out the back window. And they told me that I'd never walk again. I'm 100% disabled and retired Navy. My spine is broken. I got an inch and a half of bone chunk in my spine. I got 19 screws and 2 metal rods. And someday I will be back in my chair paralyzed from the waist down. And I have no filling below my waist. I actually have really no control under my knees. I can kind of flex my quad muscles, and that's really what supports my weight is my quad, and I use my core. And I feel that's why I got good at rowing really fast, is because the same muscles I was using to function and to lift my legs, and because I call it gracefully falling instead of walking, because I just take giant steps and catch myself. I was discharged from the hospital in December of 2005, and then in 2009, I felt like I was not going to be competitive. Okay, ready? When I was in the Navy, I was a rescue swimmer, jumped out of helicopters and rescued people in the ocean. I played baseball as a pitcher in San Diego. I played semi-pro football as a quarterback in San Diego. And I had plans to come home and play sports, and I had all my plans together, and it didn't quite work out. And so when I got out of the hospital, they told me I was never gonna play football and baseball and do that type of stuff again. So things went a little crazy for a couple of years, and then in 2009, I went to the Disabled Veterans Winter Sports Clinic in Aspen, Colorado, and they teach you how to do winter sports like sit-down skiing and sled hockey and that type of stuff. But in the mess hall, they had a erg machine, and they just wanted to see who could pull the fastest over a 500-meter split. And so I pulled the fastest. I won a shirt they had there, which was kind of cool because I just wanted to win, right? And so. But then an hour later, I got a phone call from the U.S. military's Paralympic program asking me to come to a camp at Fort Lewis, Washington, where when I got there, we learned how to do sit-down volleyball, swimming, and then we got in the water for rowing. And I felt free. I felt like I was flying again. Closest thing to being in a helicopter. I could move myself around. I didn't have to have somebody's assistance. There was no obstacles in my way. And I could go as fast as I wanted, where in my chair, I couldn't. And at that time, it was still fresh in my mind what it was like to not walk and not use my legs. And I used to lay there, and as hard as you wanted and hard as you tried, you just couldn't move. And I just couldn't, my legs just wouldn't work. And it was the first time in 4 years that I had felt free. And I fell in love instantly. And I've been doing it ever since. And I do it for therapy, physical therapy. I do it for mental therapy. It really is my release.
So you're walking around now?
Yeah, I do walk. Not because any doctor told me I could. Actually, they tell me the opposite. But I'm gonna walk till I can. I'm gonna rock it till the wheels fall off.